Stewart Media and Entertainment presents the Two Live Stews Experience. We back, show. This right here, this ain't your ordinary-ish.
Two Live Stews Experience, Ryan Stewart, Doug Stewart, baby, we back. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yes, we are back. It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you, but them folks sat us down forcefully. What up to the Qs?
Do not let anyone confuse you. The Two Live Stews started this shit. The Two Live Stews Experience, shouty. If you're not stewing, what the hell are you doing?
And we've got to thank God every minute of every day. It is the Two Live Stews Experience. I am your boy, One Live Stew, also known as Ryan Stewart, joined by big brother Doug, man. What up, though, Dougie?
Man, I'm all right. Tough day for me, though, man.
I'm proud of you, sir.
What do you mean you're proud of me?
When I heard the news, the first thing that came to my mind was, is this cat even going to be able to do the show this afternoon? I mean, you love OJ, man.
Man, I love OJ, man. Golly. Rest in peace to the juice, man. I'm going to continue to say that probably for the next week.
You probably should, man, because if you know what I know, the juice needs all our good wishes right now, man. I mean, he's standing at the throne right now of judgment. So, you know, he needs us thinking about him right now, man. I'm not insinuating anything. No, sir. Don't do it.
Wait a minute.
Don't do it. No, Doug.
I didn't even know you was gonna go this direction, man.
No, Doug. Don't.
Wait a minute. You
Doug,
on a day like today? No. You opened up the gate.
No, please let me finish.
So the day that the man leaves us,
he left us.
I mean,
yesterday.
literally right now, OJ is climbing Jacob's ladder. He's climbing Jacob's ladder right now.
With a glove or without a glove? It's too early. I'm sorry. Look, man. Look. No, real quick. No. Seriously, man.
That ain't funny.
No, I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing, man. But I do want to say this, okay?
That's not funny, and it's too soon. It's too soon for OJ jokes.
I do. I hadn't made any jokes,
You've
man.
already made two obligatory OJ Simpson jokes in 30 seconds of the show.
All right.
You don't think that's
it's tasteless.
It's tasteless. That's a great word.
Tasteless. It's tasteless. I do want to tell a quick story, man. We are the Two Live Stews, Doug Stewart, Ryan Stewart. We are powered and fueled by the good folks from Southern Edge.
And that's part of what I want to talk about. He was judged. He was judged.
And we're going to get into that. We got plenty of time. I see today's show going a little long.
Joking.
No,
everything
I'm not
is
joking.
A joke.
No,
our old man used to say that. I can hear our old man say it right now. He used to say that. Everything is a joke. He used to say that.
Okay, real quick.
He used to say that to us literally.
We were blessed in radio to interview some of the biggest names, some of the biggest stars, have some of the dopest people come through the studio. Dion, Michael Irvin, the list goes on and on of the people that we were blessed to speak with. Tony Dorsett came through one time. I have never, ever seen you childlike until we saw big head OJ Simpson walking down the hallway, man. I've never ever seen you. So, I mean, dude, you were so excited and happy to see that cat coming through the studio, man.
Head so huge. I mean, like, I can't even fit my hands in the screen. Head so huge.
Right,
and we tell people about that story all the time. But yeah, man, OJ was my guy.
Yeah.
You know, because I love football, started loving football at a young age, played running back, and still to this day, I don't think that there's a prettier running back with the football than OJ Simpson. He's the prettiest running back in the history of the game that I've ever seen, any film on or whatnot. Barry Sanders probably had more shiftiness or whatever. OJ was faster. OJ was like all-state track 100 meters. So if the juice got a step on you, it was a wrap, okay? So a kid growing up in the 70s that played running back, that looked up to football players in the NFL, I mean, you couldn't get no bigger than O.J. Simpson. I was telling Nadi before the show started.
Shout out to you, Dread.
I don't think that there's been, when he was at his height, I don't think there's been another athlete bigger than O.J. Simpson except for Jordan. And then I'd say probably in the mix is LeBron and Dr. J.
I was about to say, man,
J. But even I don't think they were big. And now they didn't have social media and everything back then when OJ was, at the top of his prominence. Right. But the juice was a big deal. The juice was a big ass deal.
And what I'm not going
to miss him, man.
What I'm not going to do today, man, is I'm not going to rain on your parade. I'm not. And I want to sincerely apologize for how things started off. It was tasteless, and I know how you felt about the juice. I, too, loved the juice. I just didn't drink it quite as much as you did. But I, too, love the juice, man, and I'm not going to do anything that I probably shouldn't the rest of the day, man. We're gonna pay homage to this guy today, man, and do this thing the right way. All right?
God, the juice is gone. Orenthal James Simpson. Like, imagine a 7-8-year-old kid trying to find out what the OJ stood for. Like, right. I knew his name was Orenthal probably before any other kid in the grade that I was in at the time. Orenthal James Simpson, man. He's gone to glory.
Wow.
Gone to glory. 76 years old. Hey, we're brought to you by Southern.
Quick question.
Go ahead.
Quick question.
Did
you know he had prostate cancer?
I didn't even know.
I mean, well, I guess it's easy to keep it under wraps. But I had no idea that he was sick, man. I had no idea he had cancer.
But a lot of people, man, especially old school, they don't, even with Chadwick Boseman, you didn't know he had cancer. To the degree where he was going to die. I didn't know he had cancer at all. A lot of people are prideful, man, and they don't want people to remember them suffering and, loss of weight and all that stuff. They're just prideful, and they be like, it's my time to go. It's my time to go.
Wow. Prostate cancer, man. I had no idea.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You going to be able to get through this thing today, man? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of mocking me right now, but
I'm not mocking you, man. Dude, the minute I heard, you were the first person I thought about because I know how you feel about the juice, man.
So I probably played, I don't know. So I started playing at 7. So I probably played 5 or 6 years of Little League football. 2 of them 6 years, I wore number 32. One year, I wore number 38. In honor of the great George Rogers, the University of
That's the ugliest number in sports.
But George Rogers was the ish the year. I think George Rogers won it in 80 or 81. Clemson won the national championship in 81. George Rogers won the Heisman Trophy in 1980. So 1980, I was wearing number 38. But that number 32 meant greatness.
It did.
32 meant greatness back in the 70s.
Franco Harris? Franco Harris, 32 also, wasn't he? Wasn't Franco Harris 32?
Franco Harris, 32.
Marcus Allen?
32. Marcus Allen, number 32.
Yeah.
32 meant greatness at the running back position.
Shouts out to the great Arlie Wood. Welcome to Arlie Wood is how you can find her in the chat as well on all social media handles. She just said that they said when OJ was outed with cancer that he kept it to himself. And they said that TMZ knew a while back, and when TMZ brought it to light, OJ denied it and just kind of disappeared.
Man, I mean, a lot of, like I said, a lot of old folks and old school folks, they're prideful. Like, do you really, if you got terminal cancer, you're going to die. I mean, I guess you've made peace with your maker. Do you really want your family worrying about you and, you know what I'm saying, and feeling pity for you?
I pray that none of us ever have to deal with that. But if something happens to me like that, man, I'm throwing my cash up there quick.
What do you mean throwing your cash up?
I'm throwing my cash app. Cash app. I'm gonna put my cash app.
You want people to send you some money to Cash App for what? Oh, so you're saying they send you money on your Cash App, you go out to Magic City and blow it. So you're saying the last couple of weeks of your life, you going to a strip club.
I'm a ball out, man.
You want us to send you Cash App.
If something happens to me, all I'm going to do on all social media platforms is post my Cash App, and I need y'all to flood me. Flood me with it because I'm going to ball out. That's exactly right, man.
And maybe he was balling out. Maybe he was balling out.
He was in Vegas. You know, he was a resident of Vegas the last few years of his life. That was his home. And from time to time, people would see him on golf courses all the time in Vegas. People would see him in casinos from time to time. But he was a resident of the great Nevada.
Compliments to the great Ryan Cameron, the Ryan King, longtime DJ here in Atlanta.
He's still DJing, man.
Yeah. Morning host.
He's the one that blessed us with OJ, man. That cat called us out of the blue one day, like, "Hey, man, who y'all got today on the show?" I said, "I think it's a slow day, RC. What you got cracking, man? I'm gonna come by and bring OJ." I said, "OJ, who?
Did he come? Did he come with him?
He didn't.
Okay.
OJ came by himself.
Yeah. So
OJ
2 hours. 2 hours.
Yeah.
We did about hour and a half, 2 hours with OJ Simpson. This is after the trial, after the acquittal, and couple things that jumped out at me, and we've talked about this before, people that used to listen to the show, but two things jumped out at me about OJ Simpson. Number one was three things.
Okay.
Number one was how bow-legged this Joker was. This Joker looked like he was born on a horse, man.
Yep.
This Joker was so bow-legged, man. And I don't know, maybe his legs kind of shifted when he got older. Maybe he wasn't that bow-legged when he played. Because, we see that now with Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith knees are knocking, man.
Knock-kneed. He's not.
And I wonder if that comes from all of the running that those great athletes used to do at their time.
I figured out what it is. And remember that you just said one. You said three things. So you got two more. Okay, remember those. It's got to have something to do with basketball and the way they bend their legs together when they shoot free throws.
Dawn Staley got a little bit of that going on too.
I'm saying the same thing. I'm saying the same thing.
She got a little bit of that going on too. Yeah.
And I think it comes from this is probably dumb. It's probably one of the stupidest things I'll say tonight. But I think when they dip down, their knees come together when they shoot free throws, man. And I think that's what it's got to have some kind of connection like that, man.
Maybe it's kind of reducing the cartilage on the inside part of their knee.
I don't know.
Thus makes them shift down. I don't know.
Right. I don't know, man. But Dawn and Kenny both have it pretty bad to the point where they walk now, like if they miss a step, they can fall because they're going to be off axle. They're going to fall. Hey, man. We got to do some research on that. We got to find out what that really is.
The second thing was how gingerly he walked when he came to the studio. He could barely walk. Now, this is after the trial, so this is probably what year would you guess the interview we did with OJ was?
We started in 2001.
So probably 2005, maybe?
5 or 7.
The verdict was in 95, so probably this is 10 years after the fact.
About a decade.
That dude I saw walk in that studio and gingerly sat down in his chair and took him a couple of seconds to get up and walk out and right that. I don't think that dude could have done what they said he did.
Yeah.
I don't think. Okay.
Yep.
And the last thing about the greatest experience that I probably ever had in radio, meeting the great Orenthal James Simpson, is I was shocked when he walked in the studio and his head was this big.
It's the biggest head I've ever seen in my life. Pause, but it was the biggest head I've ever seen in my life.
This man's head, and I know how long 12 inches is by a ruler. We had a 12-inch ruler in school, right? This man's head from chin to the top was at least 18 inches.
I was about to say 17, 18 inches.
Add 6 more inches to a ruler. Add 6 more inches to a ruler. That's how big this man's head was.
Right.
Am I lying?
It was like his head never stopped growing.
Right. His body stopped growing.
But his head kept on growing. Yeah. And when he sat down, man, I think we even made mention of it when he sat down, because we were both in awe that the Juice was in the studio with us. We didn't know prior to him getting there. We didn't know until like an hour or so before he got there that he was coming. So when he pops up, we were really surprised. And as soon as he sat down, we were in a break. So we had like 2-3 minutes before we got on air. And I remember saying, man, damn, Mr. Juice, you got a big ass head, man.
It's almost like
did they especially make your helmet, Mr. Juice?
It's like Chris Tucker. Damn.
Right. It was huge.
Like
man.
it was a shocking moment, man. It was a shocking moment. Man. But the guy was a great guest. I guess when you beat double murder, when you beat a double murder charge, I guess you're gonna live life to the fullest for the rest of your life.
No question, man.
And he was smiling and happy, and I mean it was great. We had a great time. We almost had to go to the ass of some of our co-workers there. That's another story. That's for the book.
Yeah, that's definitely for the book. That's gonna be a chapter or two in the book. I don't think I felt the same way about them folks after that interview ever again. I don't think I was ever cool with a lot of those cats after that.
So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the difference in opinion of O.J. Simpson, man.
Very good. Very good. I do want to say this.
Go ahead.
I do want to say this. The former football great who was accused of and ultimately acquitted. Okay.
He was acquitted, man.
Everything I read, I pulled up a lot of stuff today, but everything keeps saying he was ultimately acquitted of the brutal 1994 slayings of his ex-wife and her friend. Acquitted. So in the court of law, it was not an all-black jury either. He was acquitted. And that, not only was he acquitted, but the glove didn't fit. We're going to talk about this all night. I'm sure a lot of people are going to have a lot of opinions, but he was acquitted of those murders, man.
I mean, and listen, man, and I'm not going to take it down the race lane, but clearly that's part of what's going on with this, okay? My question, though, just a general question I'm going to throw out there for the listeners and people watching this. Everybody today that you watch on TV just sounds like they just have vitriol, like they're still mad. This thing is over 30 years ago. They still mad.
Yep.
My question, man, is at what point do you say the justice system is wrong or right? Or why do you get to dictate if the justice system is wrong or right? The man went to trial. He had a trial. He got acquitted. You couldn't tell from a certain part of society that this man actually got acquitted. Like, we don't give a damn what a judge said or a jury of your peers said. In our mind, and we're going to treat you like you did these murders.
That's right.
But I got acquitted. What about all of the process? What about the lawyers? What about the arguments? What about the jury? What about the facts? What about this, that? What about they said I'm acquitted and I can go home?
So
people just don't care.
A criminal court jury found him not guilty of murder in 1995, but a separate civil trial jury found him liable in 1997 for the deaths and ordered him to pay. You remember the number, man? Ordered him to pay $33.5 million to the relatives of Brown and Goldman. $33.5 million for a dude that was acquitted of the case. $33.5 million.
And that's why a lot of times, man, I feel like that there's a plot to take the riches of wealthy black men in this country, man. I just don't know, man. Like, you can't win. The man won and still didn't win.
And lost. Won but lost.
He won but lost.
He won but lost. And I'm going to dig a little bit deeper because he wasn't making a lot of bread back then. So they came after everything he had. But the money that he was making was from his Social Security benefit, which was like less than $45,000 a year. And he had total and permanent disability from the NFL that paid him somewhere between $150,000 to $250,000 a year. And the families couldn't touch that because of the state that he lived in. It was against the law for them to get that because it was a benefit from his previous employer. So all the money that he was still making, he was allowed to keep, but everything else that he had, he pretty much had to liquidate it and give it to the Goldman and the Brown family. So he lost, but he won the case. He didn't get convicted, but he lost all his bread. And lastly, man, a few years later, on some trumped-up charges because he tried to go take something that was his, he got locked up and did a few years. And it had nothing to do with him going to get his Heisman.
Hey, man, not a few. OJ did 9 years, man.
9
in the pen.
For going to get something
that was his own shit.
For trying to take his own stuff, man.
Now, the way he went about it was wrong, and I don't know if he was drinking, high, or whatever the case may be. They said that they brandished guns, but I don't even know how true that was. I wasn't there. Long story short, the guy was trying to get his stuff.
No, it was like a Matt Dillon type showdown, man. They walked in there with trench coats and they had weapons, man. Allegedly. He was going to get his Heisman.
Right. It was it? Yeah. One of the objects or the artifacts or whatever the case may be was his Heisman.
That's right.
I'm getting my Heisman trophy. If I know what my Heisman trophy is and you got it illegally, you stole it from me, I'm coming to get it. That's understandable, right?
No, man. That's one of the dumbest things he's ever did in his life.
It's clearly one of the dumbest things he ever did in his life.
And damn. We said it. It
was like a setup. It was almost like a setup, and he fell for it.
Hey, OJ, I heard your Heisman is at the MGM room 3344. Oh, really? You sure it's there? Oh, I'm positive. As a matter of fact, look. Oh, someone just sent me a picture, OJ. See, it's right here. Oh, room 3344. It was a setup, man.
Yeah, he
fell
for it. Hook, line,
man.
and sinker. Hook, line, and sinker.
I
hated that. I hated that, man.
I hated that. Doug Stewart, Ryan Stewart. Well, we said it several times, man. The minute he beat the case, the minute he won the case, the minute he wasn't convicted from the case, he should have disappeared in the thin air, never to be seen again.
I'm telling you, man. He should have went to Panama. Not Panama, Florida, neither. The real Panama. He should have left this country because he has such ill will, man, from a large swath of this country, man. They really just hated the guy. So, I mean, we're going to kind of reflect today, man. There's a bunch of different things, a little aspects of his life. But once again, this is why, and I don't know why I'm even making this comparison. This is why I always tell people when you're judging hip hop, like you really need to be in your formative years going back to like 1980 and continue to listen to hip hop the entire time until today to make a real informed judgment about how good or where you would rank hip hop artists. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
Like if you didn't see OJ,
right,
you really don't have a concept of how butter this dude was on that football field, man.
Right.
How dynamic this guy was on that football field. And I get it now because he was like Juggernaut. Man had a Juggernaut head.
He was.
Man could break any tackle. I'm Juggernaut, bitch.
And he used their head like a weapon. He used their head like a weapon, man. I mean, if he came through that hole and dropped his head, I don't care who was in front of him. They were going to feel some pain, man.
Oh, man. All right, so what we'll do is when we come back from the break, we'll read some messages in the chat room, talk more about OJ. I got kind of like I did the other night with Dawn Staley. I got one question, man. I got one question to ask people that are mad at OJ still, even though he got acquitted. I got one question for them people, man.
You want to ask it now?
No, I'll wait. I'll wait. Oh, we also got to talk about the last poll. And we got to talk about the new poll. The new poll was kind of tied into OJ and the passing of OJ.
Okay.
We'll have.
Well, it's funny because I every poll that I've won, I've never been able to go back and check them out. It's like you buried them somewhere. But this last poll that we did this last show on, man, I could find that poll whenever I wanted to. It's absolutely amazing how that happened.
Amazing how that happens, right?
Oh man, it's not amazing.
All right, quick break. Don't go away. Two Live Stews. Do any of your friends your age still go to strip clubs?
No.
Now, let me make sure and clean this up a little bit. If there's a strip club out there, a proprietor listening to this show right now, and they like for us to host Monday night at their establishment, we are there. I will come on a strip club retirement for a sponsor.
Or Wednesday night, or Thursday night, or Friday night, or Saturday night. I'm not coming to your establishment on Sundays, but every other night of the week, count me in. I'm in.
I'll come on Sunday if it's a check behind it. I will come, okay? Ryan does not have to come. He's got the little small children and whatnot. I will come.
Ladies, we know you wear a lot of hats. From fitness to packing lunches, grocery shopping, and running boutiques, you do it all. But tonight is about taking a break for yourself and not feeling bad about it. Whether you're a fitness enthusiast, a boutique owner juggling the world, or a devoted dog mom like Jen, Southern Edge understands that every woman deserves a moment to relax and do what makes you happy. Courtesy of Southern Edge, the only way to truly taste the moment.
Doug Stewart, Ryan Stewart, the Two Live Stews experience going down in a neighborhood near you, on a computer near you, thanks to this podcast. I'm Ryan and he's Doug. We're talking about the great O.J. Simpson today, who has passed away from prostate cancer on yesterday, the age of 76 years old. We believe he was still in Nevada, Las Vegas, where he was living at the time. So rest in peace, OJ, man. We'll do a lot of OJ talk today, as a few other things as well.
Yeah, so we'll read some of the messages in the chat room. I got two questions I'm going to ask you this segment about OJ that's going to kind of drive this segment.
Question.
First question. The Bronco chase was in 94. What were you doing in 94? I know exactly what you were doing. You were at Tech. But do you remember, like, exactly where you were at?
I was at Dugan's. It was on a Friday. It was a Thursday or Friday, and I was at Dugan's on Ponce de Leon.
The Bronco chase.
And it was flooded in there. It was crowded.
Mm-hmm.
And it went dead silence, and everybody started watching the screens as the Bronco chase was going on, man. I was at Dugan's. I'll never forget it.
Okay. So I was working 94. I graduated in 93. 94, I was working my first ever real job at Foot Action USA in
Pensacola?
I think it was University Mall. I can't remember the name of the mall now in Pensacola, Florida. But and we had the three TVs. Go ahead.
Was Pensacola first or was Roanoke first?
Well, Roanoke was first. Roanoke, I was an assistant manager.
Okay, all right.
Then I got promoted, got my own store, running my own outfit in Pensacola, Florida.
It was
at 24 years old. It was the greatest thing ever. Like, I really loved that job. They just wanted me to work on the whole weekend. And I couldn't.
Every day, all day.
So you remember Foot Action? They kind of like their store model. They had 3 big TVs behind the counter in the back, and we had it on TV. And somebody must have come into the store because there were no beepers that we didn't have. I had a beeper, but the beeper just showed a number where I had to go to a phone and make a call to a voicemail or something. I remember that. But somebody came into the store and was like, man, because the murder happened a couple days earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And so somebody came to the store and was like, man, they chasing OJ. OJ is on a slow speed chase in LA. Turn the TV on.
Slow speed chase.
I broke compliance because it was supposed to stay on whatever recorded thing we had from the VCR or whatever sport. I broke compliance, turned it to the news, and this Bronco chase was going on, man. And I felt bad right then. I'm like, that's the juice. Because they were making it seem like they were intimating that he was going to commit suicide or something like that.
Right. No, he was just driving to see his mama before they locked him up. That's all.
Allegedly.
That's all. He was driving to see his mama.
Allegedly. The second thing I wanted to ask you, go ahead.
Isn't that where didn't he drive to her house?
Yes. Was it his house?
I believe you're right.
I believe you're right.
Yeah, I'm almost positive, man.
Yeah.
Second question, sir.
Second question. Where were you at when the verdict came down? The verdict was in 95, like a year later. And it was a long trial, if I remember correctly.
It was very long.
Where were you at when the verdict came out?
I was rabbit dancing at the house of the bartender at Dugan's.
Say what?
I told you I was at Dugan's when the chase took place. And when the verdict dropped, I was at the home of the bartender that was working at Dugan's, and we were rabbit dancing.
Okay. I thought you said you were rabbit dancing on Dugan's bar.
No.
Like, how you do that?
Some really good times, man. Some really good times in Atlanta. How about you? Where were you?
So I was at work. So I had already moved to Atlanta.
That was uncomfortable.
No. So actually, I left work. My house wasn't that far from the job. I was working at this finance company in Marietta. You remember my first house was in Marietta off of Delk Road.
Yep.
So took off lunch because the news was coming down that the verdict was coming out at around lunchtime.
And it wasn't safe for you to watch it there. You had to go watch someplace else.
No, they didn't have no TV in there. So I went home to watch it. And I went home and watched it. And just like, them ninjas you saw on TV in LA that they had the cameras on, they were jumping up and down and happy or whatever. I did that in my house. Keep in mind, I'm the only black person in my office. 9 times out of 10, I'm the only black person in my office, wherever I'm at. But anyway, I go back in the office and I roll up in there and I'm reading the room. Like, I want to go, yeah, you goddamn right, you son of bitches. I want to go like that. But when I walk in the room, everybody, it was like 8 people in there. They had desks in one room. 8 people in there just did like this. Like they were waiting for my black ass to say anything. They were waiting for me to say anything. Yeah. So I understood that. Like I said, I read the room and I just said, hi, Jim. I went and sat down. And did my work. I ain't say a word.
That was one of the saddest things.
The division.
I mean, because there were cameras set up everywhere. In every place there was a white camera, this is all you saw.
Right. Mean mugging.
And wherever you saw a camera where there were black people, it was.
So you got to put some context around it for younger people. 3 years earlier, I think in 92, the Rodney King incident happened where LA police on camera beat the hell out of Rodney King for a traffic infraction or whatever the case may be. But several police officers caught on video. They didn't think they were on video. Caught on video with their baton sticks out, and they beat this man literally like a dog.
Yes.
And you can go and you can find it on YouTube or whatever if you want to see what I'm talking about. And so from that, and then they had riots after that, like so much of LA burned. And then a couple of years later, this, and the officers that beat Rodney King to death, and he actually didn't die, they beat him close to death.
Yeah, he lived, right.
Those officers were all exonerated.
Yep.
We like, wait a minute.
You're
watching this on TV. You're watching it. This is nothing that you heard about or an accusation that they did this to this guy. You saw it. They beat the shit out of this dude.
Yep.
And you let them go? So it was kind of like a tit for tat mentality, I think, in OJ, in the whole OJ case, because we watched what happened to Rodney King. Those officers got off. In OJ's trial, Johnny Cochran, the attorney for OJ, presented this case about the dirty cops. Dirty cops and, you know, how they were trying to frame him, this, that, and the other, and he got loose. So I think Black America looked at it like, man, listen, he won us, even though OJ, you know, really didn't hang and kick it with us like that. But we just, I think as a whole, we felt like, man, we finally get some justice.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yep. I remember that. I remember one of his favorite sayings was, I'm not black. I'm OJ.
I'm OJ. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he felt that way until his ass got locked up for going to get his own stuff. Yep. But for the record, the majority of my friends and the people that I knew while watching that trial, we knew or we thought that he would never, ever see the day of light again. So when the verdict came out and he did get exonerated or he was able to leave and walk out of that courtroom, it was mind-blowing. You couldn't have paid me to think that OJ was going to get out of that situation and not do some time. You couldn't have paid me to think it.
Okay, so question, do you think he did it, the murders?
I've said this before and I'll say it again. We interviewed him 8 to 10 years after this situation, and he could barely walk down the hall. He could barely sit down in the chair. He could barely get up when it was time to leave. When you shook his hand, he had a firm handshake, but it was feeble but firm.
Right.
So I don't think at the age he was at, as debilitated as he was, that he could kill 2 different people in 2 different areas in the same vicinity. Okay? Now hold on.
Go ahead.
I don't think he could do it. However, I've always said, and you're not going to want to hear this, but I've always said,
no, keep it real.
I've always said, I think it was an ordered hit, and I think he was there to see it. I think he wanted to see it get done, and I think he was there. But I don't think he had the ability or the capacity to do it. We saw that guy walking and moving, man. We played golf with that guy one time. He wasn't fluid.
Yeah.
He wasn't fluid at all. He just couldn't get up and move. He couldn't possibly think about running or trying to grab somebody. So I do think he was there. I do think he was the guy that probably called the hit, but I think he saw it with his own eyes, but I don't think he physically did it.
Do you remember at the time they were saying that Ron Goldman was like a karate student or something like that?
Yes.
And it's past history now. I don't see a scenario where you gonna kill me with a knife in an open space like that.
No, that's exactly right.
I mean, and I'm young, so especially I'm 54 years old right now. Especially when I was Ron Goldman's age, he was like in his 20s or maybe late 20s, maybe early 30s or something like that.
He was young. He was young.
You're not gonna kill me with no damn knife. Okay, so that never really made sense to me as well. You ever seen? There's a documentary called and I saw it about a year ago. Somebody told me about it. It's called My Brother the Serial Killer. Okay, it's about this guy named Glenn Edwards Rogers. Okay. So if you watch the documentary, and you hate to even bring up stuff like this, some conspiracy theory stuff or whatever the case may be, but it was like on True Court TV or something like that. And there was this long investigation about this guy that claimed to his family, this guy was in and out of jail from California. Long story short, the guy said that he did it. He was paid to kill or to go and take some jewelry back from Nicole. OJ paid the guy to go in there and get it, and OJ told him, like, listen, if it get too crazy, you might have to kill her. Yada, yada, yada. It's called My Brother the Serial Killer. And the reason they called it that, and you're watching the 2 Live Stews Experience, like the guy's sister and brother were interviewed in this, and they talked about this. And this guy actually did go to jail for committing 4 murders. He was going back and forth across the country from California to, I can't remember which state that he grew up in on the eastern side of the country. And very intriguing thing. I agree. I think that he had somebody to do it. I think he might have been there, but I don't see him being able to do that with a knife. And the guy that we saw, I don't believe that he could do it, but I do believe that he probably had something to do with it as far as getting setting it up.
It's deep, man. It's
Yeah.
deep. Well, he's standing before his maker right now, man. And I don't know if he's pleading. I don't know if he's already passed the test. It's heavy, man. It's really, really heavy. But he was acquitted. Okay, he was acquitted and ended up doing 9-10 years for something that had nothing to do with the murders, but it was all about the murders, him getting that time. So he did his time. I said that on the live post I had today. He did his time. And they wouldn't allow him after doing his time to ever get his footing back the way he wanted to get his footing back. They wouldn't let him make any money. Every time he got some money, they took the money and gave it to the family. So, it was a rough way out for him. But again, I didn't know he had cancer, man. I didn't know he was on his deathbed. It's just wild, man. You got to live and love life. I'm a huge believer. You have to live and love your life, man.
Yeah, man. It ain't but for a second. The great Jim Brown went on to glory this year. OJ went on to glory this year. Just terrible, man. Just terrible. And he never really got back in the graces.
No.
The good graces of Buffalo Bills fans, yep. Which, teams are known for certain players or certain things or whatever the case may be. Like, as far as the Buffalo Bills, there was nobody like OJ is at one level, and there was anybody even close to OJ as far as popularity in that organization's history.
Nope.
Maybe Bruce Smith, is maybe second.
Well, they try to propel Jim Kelly up there, man, but
Jim Kelly, no, nobody was as big as the Juice, man. Well, then he did TV
they try to put Jim Kelly up there, man, but I mean, he wasn't that dude, man. That's why they never won a Super Bowl with Jim Kelly at the quarterback position. He got there a lot, but he wasn't that dude.
Nadi, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. When we're doing Arlie next segment?
Yes.
Okay.
45.
So let me throw this out there.
Yes, sir. Throw it out there.
I got a question for all of the people that harken back to OJ killing his wife and just totally ignoring the acquittal. I mean, they literally just ignoring it. They had jurors picked by, fairly, and, they had a trial. Everybody had lawyers, this, that, and the other. Acquitted. We don't give a damn. He did it. And they still talk about that. Like, you watch some of the news reporters today on the news, and they were very slanted in their reporting of it, kind of intimating to you that they think that he actually did it. He got away with murder.
I mentioned on the live I did promoting the show tonight that based upon where you read the story or saw the story for the first time today about his death, if it was a network like Fox, you saw OJ in shackles in pictures. You saw him in his jumpsuit in prison in pictures. If it was a more liberal network, you saw him in a football uniform, or you saw him smiling.
Right.
But it's hey man, I mean, race is such a big deal. This thing is so black and white so often, man. It's crazy.
So for the people that were, had such vitriol today, 30 years after the fact about this OJ thing, and I'm not just talking about the media, I'm talking about anybody. Like, there's several people in the chat group today that clearly thought OJ did it, and they posted all these negative comments about him, like, still mad after 30 years, almost 30 years. Do you think those same people are still mad, and whenever the subject comes up, they really go into a rage about the officers that killed Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, Walter Scott, George Floyd, killed Breonna Taylor in her bed? Do you think those people have the same level of vitriol about something that was wrong and it was 100% proven wrong? Do you think those people have that same amount of vitriol to those cops that killed those people in cold blood like they do 30 years later for OJ?
Greg Gunn, Tamir Rice, Paul O'Neill, Eric Garner, Freddie Gray, Walter Scott from South Carolina, Sandra Bland. I got a shirt on with 20 names of unarmed black people that's been killed by folk that don't look like this.
And guess what?
It's 20 different names on this shirt that I'm wearing with unarmed black people that died by the hands of someone with a weapon, and they had no weapon.
The question was rhetorical as hell. Those people that are outraged about OJ 30 years later, even though he was acquitted, haven't given a second thought about Breonna Taylor getting shot up in her damn bed.
In her own
haven't
house.
given a second thought about Tamir Rice, a 12-year-old playing with a toy in the Walmart.
And I refuse to
Hypocrites.
say the chump's name that killed Trayvon Martin, but it's widely known that when he walks in certain places today, because he's not in jail, when he walks in certain places, he gets a round of a hand clap. He gets a standing ovation when he walks in places. Because of what? Because he killed the little black boy.
Have the same energy. If you don't have the same energy, you're basically telling on yourself.
No, they don't care.
If you go off about something that happened 30 years ago with a guy that got acquitted, whether you think he really did it or not, he beat the charges, but you don't have shit to say about them kicking in Breonna Taylor's door and filling it up with bullets in her bed while she would sleep, I mean, you're really telling on yourself. That's my point. That's my point.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I don't care what people think, man, because, we don't think the same. We don't think the same, man. And unfortunately, man, you're on one side of the fence or you're on the other, and your thoughts are going to be with that side. It's that simple, man.
Hey, when we get back from the break, Arlie, and don't go away, 2 Live Stews. Sponsorship opportunities are available. All right. You're going to see some commercials, but we're telling you once again, and people like this, and I straight pull this from a TV show or a movie, but the price today is not going to be the price tomorrow. It's as simple as that, man. A lot of people have been hitting us up. We're really just trying to come up with a fair package for everybody.
Trying to do things the right way, sir. Trying to do things the right way.
And so if you are interested in advertising on the Two Live Stews, I created a new email address, sme.dougstewart@gmail.com. sme.dougstewart@gmail.com.
The price today ain't going to be the same tomorrow, but I want to get in today.
The Two Live Stews experience, Doug Stewart, Ron Stewart. Sponsorship opportunities are available. All right. We're looking for experienced radio sales people. Jump aboard right now. There's a lot of money out there to be got. All right. Because we promote the heck out of our sponsors, and they know that. We've had sponsors in the past that we would love to reconnect with as well.
Doug Stewart, Ryan Stewart, now joined by the lovely Arlie Michelle, a.k.a.
Arlie.
at Welcome to Arliewood. What up, though, Arlie? Uh-oh. Is she muted?
Is this thing on?
This thing is
on
now.
now.
It's on
Okay,
now.
very good.
You back stateside, huh?
It's called, yes, I'm back.
Well,
It's
she's
called
done
Cut the
2
Button
shows.
On.
She's done 2 shows since then, right?
No,
Or just 1.
No,
last week I was
in
stuck in
town.
LAX and y'all
Right.
cut my throat because y'all
You
couldn't
had
hear
to
me.
go. You had to go, Shawty. You had to
I was
go.
there, you like, get out.
It is the Two Live Stews experience. Doug Stewart, Ryan Stewart, joined by Arlie Michelle, about to do the Two Live Stews entertainment report. So, Arlie, what's going on with you?
I'm just trying to make it, man. This weather is nasty.
Uh-huh.
It is.
I'm just trying to
It
stay
really
out
is.
of it because it's nasty.
You got allergies or something like that?
No, well, it's just ugly outside. It's raining, and you walk outside, you don't take an umbrella. First of all, I'm a girl with natural hair,
Uh-huh.
so rain is not my friend. Hence, y'all, that's why I got these balls today. Y'all see my
I see.
Question:
like
when
before
you
I say balls,
yeah, be
balls,
careful.
right? Can I
You
say
can say
balls?
balls. You can say balls and testicles. You can say whatever you want on this because it's not.
No, I
FCC
meant
regulated.
I didn't want. I'm not supposed to say no Diddy or no whatever it is you're supposed to say before.
I mean, Arlie, your boy here dropped a couple of P-bombs the other night. He really getting loose. He's starting to get loose.
No, time out. Time out.
I heard.
Yeah.
I was just reciting the name of a song and the words in a song. That wasn't something that I was saying
He called
myself.
it, what do you call it? Nookie or
Noosie.
Noosie.
I call it Noosie.
See, Noosie is
Uncle-
acceptable. This
Uncle
guy just
Luke
went
calls it that
straight.
other thing.
Yeah.
Well, we were
Yeah.
talking about Uncle Luke because I had him on my honorable mention, so that's why I was saying that. But those thoughts weren't mine. No, that's not me.
That's not you anymore.
No,
You were the one doing that. Somebody in the chat, I can't think of who said it. Said when you were talking about you were being a rabbit with the girl from Dugan's, or
Yes.
whatever you said.
rabbit
They
dancing.
said you were doing the pants down something. It was too cute. Y'all, if y'all could just read the chat sometime, the junk is funny. Y'all
I got to
got
figure that out.
stories are funny.
Shouts out to BMOC. BMOC said testicles are acceptable, and that was from the great Don King about 15 years ago.
Hey, man, I'm sorry I have to jump in here, man. I just learned something about this chat. I figured it out. Remember we
Wait.
were talking about how to stop this chat so we can read it?
Yes.
You figured it out?
It's very easy. So move your cursor. We'll do it later. We should talk.
We do that. We have a
Yeah,
text. We got
that's
a
good,
text.
that's good. Let's get this music going so Ollie can do her report,
We're
guys.
figuring out the damn platform still.
I know. Why are we talking to people? It just makes people realize how real we are. We just real.
That's true.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, okay,
Ollie,
let me tell you how it works then, man. So if you move your cursor over the names, you see that star? You see the star on the top right? Click on that, and it'll star it. And then at the top, you click on starred, and all of the messages you starred are right there.
I don't have no
Oh,
Game changer!
Game changer! Good for you.
What are you supposed to say?
So people trying to understand what we're talking about. We couldn't figure out how the chat. Y'all chat so much, y'all post so much stuff that it keeps rolling, and we
Right.
can't get to the good comments. I figured out how we can stop it and read those comments we want to read.
If you see a comment you like, just star it, and then you can come back to it.
Yeah, there's a star link that you click at the top, and all of the
Yep.
ones you starred
I love
will
it.
be in that list.
Start and 3.
Nice.
Yes.
Stop. Figure it bounce. Oh, that's a new one. Hey, I love it. Okay, here we go.
All right. Well,
All right,
let's
let me
get to this
start before.
report.
Let me get on the timer because I stay in trouble about sunshine. First of all, happy birthday to the people I'm about to sing about. They are older and bolder this week. Shout out to on today, Summer Walker, who turns 28,
Happy birthday,
The
Summer Walker.
wrestler, huh?
Happy birthday, Summer Walker.
Yep. The wrestler Dustin Rhodes, whose dad, he turns 55. His daddy was a wrestler.
Yeah, the great Dusty Rhodes. Yeah.
Y'all
I think Dusty is Cody's daddy too. I believe that's the way it works. Is that right, Nadi? Yeah.
So they great daddies? Are they cousins?
They cousins.
Brothers.
Are brothers.
Brothers.
Nadi.
James says brothers.
Brothers.
He said brothers.
Okay,
they're brothers.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, John.
They go to great Nadi Dre.
Hey, Doug, real quick. Did you know Dustin was 55 years old? Did you realize that?
No.
Golly,
Dusty,
okay, I'm sorry.
Dusty, if he wasn't dead, Dusty would probably be, about 70. So that makes sense.
Wait, Dusty Rhodes is dead?
Dusty Rhodes is dead?
Man, Dusty Rhodes been dead, man. Are you crazy? Wrestlers
What?
don't live a long time. Man, you'll be hard pressed to find a wrestler over 50 years old.
Hulk
Seriously.
Hogan old.
Hulk Hogan is old. Yeah, Hulk Hogan is beaten out.
He dead.
Hulk's still here. He's still here.
Hulk's still here. Hulk Hogan is still here.
I don't be trying to kill people off or nothing,
Yeah.
All right, we step on your toes again, Ollie. Go ahead and do your birthdays. I'm sorry.
It's all love. The great singer Kenneth Babyface Edmonds turned 65 today.
That's
My
Atlanta
line
right
sister,
there.
the great Dr. April Tasso, April 10th. Orlando Jones, April 10th. Rapper Q-Tip turned 55 yesterday. Actress, director Sarah Keisha Knight Pulliam, who married Brad James. I guess she's now Keisha Knight Pulliam James, 45 yesterday. Rapper Lil Nas X. That dude is only 25. I just felt like he was so much older.
Yeah, I really
Anyway.
don't care how old
We
he
didn't
is.
talk about Nas X, right?
So Rudy is how old?
Rudy is
45.
45. Little Rudy. Look at Lil
Wow.
Rudy.
Rudy is 45. God.
I only watch
didn't-
those in reruns, so
I didn't think she was just 5 years younger than me. I thought she was a whole lot younger than me. She's only 5 years younger than me.
Well, she's older than me, but I'll take it.
Right.
Orlando James, that's his name?
Yes.
So Orlando James, I don't know if you know this, Ryan. So do you know who Orlando James is? I'll show you the picture. We go to the picture. Orlando James is the guy on the second row.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. To the
So
left.
he's from the crib, man. He's from Orangeburg.
Are you
really?
serious?
I didn't know he's from Orangeburg.
Yeah, he's from the Burg. He actually went to Felton Lab. So Felton Lab is like the school, the elementary school for kids from Orangeburg, and it used to be on the campus of South Carolina State. And he actually went to Felton Lab.
I'm not going to name drop, but the guy Orlando James we just talked about, I was at the great Dallas Austin's house one night, and he was there.
You just name drop.
I know. I didn't mean to.
That's fine, though. It's part of the story.
Yeah, he was there, and when I tell you, we were there for about 2-3 hours, and he was the funniest dude in the world.
Oh man,
mad cool.
Great
he
actor too.
Mad cool.
Great actor.
He is
Yeah,
good.
he was awesome. He was awesome.
Funny. I didn't realize he was as old as he was. We have another wrestler up, Bianca Belair, not LeBlair, Belair. A songbird that I absolutely adore, Jasmine Sullivan. You all mentioned on Tuesday the great rapper Biz Markie. It would have been Heavenly 56, rapper Dej Loaf, and the little actress Sky Jackson. She's growing all up and stuff.
Okay, Sky Jackson.
Remember, she was a cute little girl on one of those. Well, if you had little kids, you would have watched this. I had little children who watched one of them shows on Nickelodeon, and she was over there. She was like the bad little girl. Anyway, now she's a grown woman.
One time for the birthdays.
It's your birthday, people. All right, birthdays. So let's get this party started. I want to give my, I have my OJ stories. I was in the airport the other day and for whatever reason thought about him because I was running through the airport and trying to dodge people. And I remember seeing that Hertz commercial. So that's my OJ. And no, I don't think he did it. I didn't think he did it. I think that like Jay-Z's song, Light, Dog, Fold, Rich, Pole, House, Feel, Steal. And he forgot he steal.
Yeah.
And if you get too big, a la Bill Cosby, a la Diddy, a la Jonathan Majors, a la anybody who gets outside the pocket for the good YPIPOs, they don't like it. So they're gonna do what they
I got into this debate the other day with somebody in the Two Live Stews chat group, Facebook chat group.
Ollie, remember Jonathan Majors. Go ahead, Doug. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
For some reason, Michael Jackson came up, and I can't remember what the post was about, but some reason Michael Jackson came up, and this guy went off about Michael Jackson touching these kids, that, and the other. Michael Jackson was acquitted. My thing is, when does getting acquitted matter. When
Not
if you black,
it doesn't. If you black,
so
it doesn't matter.
this guy, and it was a black guy, he kept going on and on about Michael Jackson touched these kids, that's this, that, and the other. And it started me thinking about what we mentioned earlier. I'm not saying that we're angels and that no black person doesn't do anything wrong, but you do realize that if you get accused of something, i.e. Bill Cosby, i.e. Michael Jackson, i.e. Puffy, and you go to jail, they take your assets. Like Michael Jackson owned the Beatles collection of music. That's instantly going to the hands of, I don't know, whatever government officials, or at the end of the day, it's going to somebody a Caucasian's hand. Yep. Now, I'm not saying that they did or did not do these things, but think about this stuff, man. A huge transfer of wealth is gone from this person's family, their community, if it's just gone, if they go to jail. So you got to kind of look at these stories, not with the whole conspiracy theory thing, but just it's real.
Well, let's talk about Jonathan Majors on the heels of what you just said. There was an Uber driver that was a part of the entire conversation that they had, and he said that the young lady that Jonathan Majors was with was the aggressor. When the car stopped, Jonathan Majors got out of the car and ran away. He realized, okay, I'm going to lose this battle, so the best thing for me to do is to remove myself. He got out of the car and ran away. She chases him, never catches him, but he ran away. He lost just about everything. Lost roles, had prominent roles in huge movies, gone. And now
endorsements, gone.
Endorsements, all that. He got no time for the crime. He got no probation for the crime and has to go for a year, 1 day a week to counseling. But he lost everything and wasn't found guilty of doing anything, but he lost it all because he ran away from a woman that was accusing him of doing something.
You can be the most greatest person in the history of the world. If somebody accuses you, you can still get acquitted. If you're talking about black people, you can get acquitted. But in the court of public opinion,
you're done.
It's a wrap.
But that's only because you did it to them.
Yep.
If you had done it to these,
it would be fine.
Be like,
nope.
Oh, y'all work it out.
Yep.
Oh, going back to your side of town. Whatever. It's insane. It used to be insane to me to go to like the NFL players' wives stuff. Like literally, we are not in the room. But I know when you come back later and all is said and done, we all in the room because they didn't got big and swole and nobody want them no more.
Well, so
Doug, white girl took all their money.
You don't understand you don't understand what Arlie is saying. What Arlie is saying is she was married to a former athlete.
Oh, who? You mind saying?
Look, we had this conversation. He's the bros. Zeta went to University of South. He played in South Carolina. Yeah, Ernest Dixon. He used to play for
Big E.
You was married to Big E? Are you serious? This is the big one, Elizabeth. I'm coming to join you, honey. Yep. You were married to Big E?
Yep.
Oh, I got some Big E stories, man. How'd y'all meet paths? Because
he played in New Orleans at the time.
He played for the Saints, and I was at Xavier in grad school.
That's right. So he came on the yard, rocking the cradle. Okay.
Yes, exactly. That is how that happened.
Oh, my gosh, small world.
We shan't tell. How about this is so personal, but I ran into some of the bros from South Carolina State, and I was like, oh, my ex-husband went to USC. And they were like, what's his name? And I said, Ernest Dixon. They're like, oh, my God, get him on the phone. So I get him on the phone, and he's like, I know who it is. Ask that nigga if you remember when I put him in that oven. I said, I will not. He says hi. He says hi. And he was like, I was like, I will not ask no grown man if he remembers nothing like that.
Let me tell you something. This frat thing goes deep. I don't want to know what
that means.
I got so many, not so many. I got 3 or 4 Big E stories from 30 years ago.
No question.
When the Z Square bros and the Zyside bros got together or whatever the case may be.
Bunkhouse Stampede.
Oh man. So that's crazy.
Okay,
small world.
Now, just putting the connections together. So let's that was my OJ part, and I want to move.
Hold on, Ollie, real quick. I got to tell the story real quick, what she was just alluding to.
Uh-huh.
When you go to team functions in your a part of the team, you will notice that a lot of the brothers that come in there are married to Caucasian sisters.
Oh,
okay?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh, that's old school. I remember mama used to do that too.
Every year there's family get-togethers. The team does this, team does that, and these brothers come in there with these Caucasian sisters. Okay,
right.
Now, after you're done playing ball and you go back to said teams, those same brothers that were there with the Caucasian sisters are now there with big black women.
It looks totally different.
Because,
I'm like, y'all didn't like us before. What it is, yo, what's up?
Because the Caucasian sisters have left them. They're done playing ball and they got paid. And now you go back to, okay. I'm sorry. Thank you, Arlie.
It's business, man.
It's terrible.
It's catch the small foot, hook, line, sinker.
I don't know when we're going to teach them. I don't know when we teach them. Like, it's supposed to be about love and all that stuff. But for whatever reason, the rest of the world, they coming for you. You get out of pocket with their little flower.
Yep.
They don't think we're a flower. They just watch us ride. It don't matter. Beat her ass. We don't.
It'll cost you. It'll cost you.
Wow.
But anyway, so yeah, that's my OJ. He just forgot. But I do not think he did it. I just don't think he did it. So
and here's the thing about that. I've been preaching today. Whether we think he did it or not, it don't matter what we think.
He was acquitted.
Yep. But
like
the system wasn't designed for us to get away. It was designed for us to be entrapped. Like our cat said, now you're trapped.
I mean, and we're supposed to talk about sports, but I mean, sometimes, man, I think very deeply, man. I think very deeply. I think
very deeply.
Wasn't that Tribe Called Quest?
I think so.
I gotta correct something you just said.
Mm-hmm.
The new Two Last Dudes experience is not a sports show.
That's true. It's not technically a sports show.
We do talk a lot about sports, but we are not a sports show. We are a talk show, sir. We'll talk about whatever the topic is of the day, of the week, or whatever we so desire. We are not a sports show. Okay.
It's an experience.
It's an experience, Aldi. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so as we move this experience along so we don't get in trouble, first up, Nadia, are you ready with Aoki Lee Simmons? Have y'all seen this? And by the time I'm telling y'al the story, the child they done broke up.
Who is Aoki Lee Simmons?
That is the lovely Kimora Lee and Russell Simmons' kid.
Yep.
Oh.
She is 21 years old. And she posts this video of she and her boyfriend. He picks me up and he flies me, just tells me to pack something. It doesn't matter. And we're just flying to the Caribbean to his house.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. Who was that old white man she with?
Her boo. Well, they broke up. But just yesterday.
I thought you was talking about something totally different.
No,
baby. As they said, no, baby. In New Orleans. In my best New Orleans. No, baby. That's her boyfriend. He's 65, yeah.
Wow.
And I just want to
know
ask
what? Kimora, a lot of people say Kimora, has some hustle in her.
I mean, so little Aoki is 21. She's a Harvard grad, and she posts this long video. And all I could think during the video, and I know I'm wrong, it's probably because I'm somebody's mama. Girl, first of all, you need to eat some chicken and go lay down and just sleep on it, because she is about this big.
She real poor. That's the
she
Asian
was so
side
tiny,
of her.
and she talking about her little outfit.
That's
and
the
these are my
side of her.
boyfriend's shoes. I don't know. And people were asking her stuff because she goes live to show that she's like, what I took in my bag right quick on the jet and what the house looks like. And she's showing, and the house is gorgeous.
Go back to that picture one more time, Nadi. Go back to it one more time, Nadi. Yeah, that's definitely an Asian bookie.
And so then
I haven't seen one. I mean, no offense. She grown. She 21. So
she's 21. Yeah, you're not talking about no kid. That's a grown woman.
That's definitely an Asian bookie right there. If I ever seen one.
Yeah,
skin and bones.
She needs to snack daily, every hour on hour. And just there's this country in Africa. I think it's Marrakesh. I'm not sure, but they feed just feed because the heavier you are, it means like you're wealthy, and so they want people to look wealthy.
You know what else she needs to do?
Get away from that old man with worms.
She need to get checked for worms. Thank you. She need to get checked for worms. That's right.
Arlie, you took it back old school. Yeah, she definitely picked up some worms from that old dude. I'm sorry.
But, everybody's wondering, like, what are her parents thinking? And so on a post that she posted on Instagram, her dad responds something like, with a post that he had it was a picture of them from like Father's Day, I guess maybe last year. Sometime they had been together, she and her dad. And he's like, I'm always ready for you to call me whenever. And then some reader, the cowboy keyboard people, why don't you call her? He said, what do you makes you think I hadn't called her? So clearly she know that's probably a point of contention for her parents. But my question for you is, as girl dads, what would you do if your 3 or your 1 come home?
Damn it. I knew it. Don't wrap my child up in this. Don't bring my child into this, Arlie. Don't bring my child into this. Don't do it.
I swear, I think I'll kill somebody,
I'm just
man.
wondering, as a dad, what do you do when your 21-year-old come home with a man the same age as your granddaddy?
Yeah,
I don't even want to think about that, to be honest with you, Arlie. Seriously. And I got 3 of them, too. I got 3 daughters. Yep. So the chances of are much greater for me, just by the numbers, for something like that to go down.
So deep down in my heart, okay, I just want my kids to be happy. My kids are 14, 12, and 8, and I prayed for them and their significant others already, and they don't even have them. I already prayed for them, okay? Now, that being said, I probably wouldn't fuss at her if she did that, but I'm going to let him have it because you should know better. I'm going to catch him someplace without her, and I'm going to give him the business. You got to beat it, dude. You can't be doing this. Every time I see you and you're not
with her, I love him,
I'm
Daddy.
wear your ass out. No.
You remember that episode of Good Times? Speaking of which, Louis Gossett played Thelma's older boyfriend.
Good call.
James wasn't playing that shit. James wasn't playing that. That's just how I feel too, man. Lord,
my daddy wouldn't let me go out.
Please.
My daddy would not let me go out with a dude 1 year older than me. So
now one.
Mr. 65 wasn't going. It was about to go down. Yeah. Bobby was coming for the jugular.
Oh man, you just put some bad thoughts in my head, Ollie.
All right, Ollie, give us one more before we let you go. Give us one more before we let you go, Ollie.
Okay, so it appears that Jeezy and Jenny Mai are battling again. Jeezy just went to court to say that he would now like full custody of their 2-year-old daughter. So there are 2 different kinds of custody. There's physical custody and there is legal custody. They're playing some music, so I think we might need to. Oh, okay, never mind.
Finish your story.
So just a note. I'm just wondering, what do y'all think he has on her? Just like her, can get away with that.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
What do y'all think he has on her? Because it's hard when a judge gives. Luda was able to do it. He got full physical custody back in 2015. So I think a lot of these is rumor has it that Jock is trying to get physical custody of one of them 9 kids, like full physical custody, right? Which is different than legal custody. They usually won't. So
your question is, what do you think is the reason why they gave custody to him and not the?
Why you think he's even tempted to go and ask? Like, what do you think he has on?
No, it hadn't been granted yet.
It has not been granted.
It just was. It was just today that he filed it.
Well, I mean,
I'm wondering what he has to make them think he's gonna get it.
I mean, I would think it's something proving she's a bad mother. I mean, like on drugs or something like that. That's what I would think. She's like on some type of drugs. That's what my guess would be. Yeah. I can't think of anything else why
they would give it.
A mother would lose her child to the husband.
Or is this just a play for him to save some money when it comes to what he may have to pay monthly for alimony and all that?
Yeah, but what mother would allow that though?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I don't think any judge would give a child to the father, especially somebody like Jeezy, the lifestyle he lives. Not that it's bad, but I mean, he's a rapper. You know?
He is asking for full custody, and we're going to have to see how that plays out.
Outstanding job tonight, Arlie. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Arlie.
All right, man. After we pay some bills, we'll
see y'all in the chat.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be in the chat. After we pay some bills, man, we'll come back and finish things up for this beautiful Thursday evening show. It's the 2 Live Stews, Doug Stewart, Ryan Stewart, and the 2 Live Stews Experience. That was our entertainment report by the lovely Arlie Michelle. Follow her at Welcome to Arliewood. That's welcome, the number 2, ARLEWOOD. That's how you can find her on social media. Y'all keep it locked. The 2 Live Stews will be right back.
Top 5. Do any of your friends your age still go to strip clubs?
No.
Now, let me make sure and clean this up a little bit. If there's a strip club out there, a proprietor listening to this show right now, and they like for us to host Monday night at their establishment, we are there. I will come on a strip club retirement for a sponsor.
On Wednesday night or Thursday night or Friday night or Saturday night. I'm not coming to your establishment on Sundays, but every other night of the week, count me in. I'm in.
I'll come on Sunday if it's a check behind it. I will come, okay? Ryan does not have to come. He's got the little small children and whatnot. I will come.
Ladies, we know you wear a lot of hats. From fitness to packing lunches, grocery shopping, and running boutiques, you do it all. But tonight is about taking a break for yourself and not feeling bad about it. Whether you're a fitness enthusiast, a boutique owner juggling the world, or a devoted dog mom like Jen, Southern Edge understands that every woman deserves a moment to relax and do what makes you happy. Courtesy of Southern Edge, the only way to truly taste the moment.
Doug Stewart, Ryan Stewart, the Two Live Stews experience, and we are the Two Live Stews. I am Ryan, a.k.a. your favorite stew, and he is Doug. Real quick, man, I love... Thank you, man. Thank you, man, for the star thing. This is huge.
That's great. Speaking of which, you want to read a couple right now? I got 7 saved.
I got 2 of the 7 saved, so I'll read those last 2 real quick.
Okay.
Loose Neck Side. Shouts out to you, Loose Neck. Talking about Jeezy. He texted us and said his name is literally the Snowman.
Right. And he's asked for custody.
What judge is going to give the Snowman custody of the kids?
Right.
His name is the Snowman.
So if they call him the Snowman, he feels like she's doing something even worse than him and a guy that has the nickname the Snowman.
And I seriously doubt he's still in the snow game. I seriously doubt that. He's done very well for himself. Hell, he owns half of Atlanta. He got so much property around Atlanta. He owns half of Atlanta. So I doubt he's in that game still, but he was called at one point in time the Snowman. The second one from D. Finn, he said, I have custody of, wait a minute, where'd it go? Did I lose it just that quick?
Oh, you know what? I clicked off of it. My bad. I clicked off of it because I thought you were about to read it, but evidently we're looking at the same thing and we both control it from our ends. My bad.
Oh.
My bad. Read another one. Read another one, man.
No, those are the only 2 I wanted to read. That's okay. It's the chat game. You play it one day. No, it's okay. Go ahead, man. You go ahead. Fine. Clearly, you want to read one, so you go ahead.
No, from Loose Neck Side again, he says, we don't get the benefit of the doubt even after getting acquitted in the courts. That's very true. Rel Scott, O.J. Simpson could have or should have disappeared after the verdict.
Yep. We said that a couple times tonight already.
Go away.
Yep. Beat it. Disappear.
Rabbi Lewis, he says, the way Stephen A. talked about him today was nasty work, broke my heart. I thought it was innocent until proven guilty. Not innocent, but hell nah, we think you guilty. And the last one is from That Ninja. What up, Ninja? He said the police killed almost 200 ninjas in 1 year. That year, only 20 or so cases went to trial. Only 10 or so got convicted, and only one served jail time. Yep. And he did it on the weekends.
Wow.
And you got the nerve to be still infuriated about O.J. Simpson getting acquitted almost 30 years ago.
Right. All right, two quick things. So how did you erase those chats? How'd you do that?
Just click the star. Just click on the star. Like you can go ahead and see the one for That Ninja right now. Click on the star.
And it's gone. Okay.
It's gone.
All right. Okay.
Second
thing.
Thing.
That's huge. That's really huge. Okay. Now, don't click on those stars that you didn't star. Damn it. That makes no sense.
No, I didn't. I thought that I was clicking it off from my end. I thought it would still be up on your screen.
I don't want you thinking. Just listen. Don't click on those stars, man.
Nah, I'm done. I'm done clicking on the stars.
Okay. Also, man, did you see the Stephen A. Smith show today? I mean,
no.
Okay, I didn't see it either, so I'm not sure what he was talking about. But I hate to hear that.
Listen, man.
I hate to hear that. Everybody's got their opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Right.
And you do your thing. You do your thing and enjoy yourself. But I mean, the man was acquitted.
Hey, man, let me say something. Let me say something about brother Stephen A. Man.
We are going to have him on the show. We're going to have him on the show.
Right. And I know you're trying to remind me.
Yeah, he's already.
No, what I was going to say.
I've talked to him. He's confirmed he would love to do the show, and not just love to do it. He said he would come on whenever we want him to. So say whatever you're going to say, but just know that
let me say this.
He watches the show and he's coming on the show.
We've been in that position for 6 years. We were in that position for 6 years, not every day, but every other week for 6 years. There's tremendous pressure politically.
Agreed.
There's tremendous pressure politically to keep your gig.
Yep.
And in stories like this, Stephen A. has been pro-black many, many times. And stories like this, which is very, very volatile, Stephen A. probably feels like it's in his best interest for him to continue working there to kind of play it down the middle of the aisle as best he can.
But it doesn't sound like it's down the middle. It doesn't sound like it was down the middle from the text we just read. It sounds like it was all the way on the left side.
I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I'm fine with
we're gonna have him on the show, especially.
And I didn't see the show or hear the riff
that
he put out there. I didn't hear the hot take.
I can't come.
Okay,
I can't.
But we're gonna have him on the show, and when we get him on the show, we'll talk to him about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
And a great part of the reason why they showed our black asses the door, and we're going to talk about this in depth in the book, but I mean, we've said it before, is because sometimes we kept it too real.
Not
sometimes. Most of the time, we kept it too real.
We were too rough on Skip. We were too rough on Skip.
Too rough on Skip. Skip literally went and told the principal on us after shows.
After
certain shows and certain things, people always remind me about when I told Skip, "You're pathetic." We were talking about something about Tim Tebow, and I said, "Skip, you're pathetic." And it's crazy because I still watch the show, and I hear Skip Bayless call other people that he's debating with pathetic. It's just funny. It's just funny.
Listen, man,
spend that much time on that.
That day you called him pathetic.
He was though.
The control room went crazy, and Skip couldn't talk for a couple segments, man. He was so upset that you called him out like that, and you were right for calling him out. But he was so upset, man, that he got our black asses out of there, man.
You think that was the beginning of the end?
That was the beginning of the end, man.
Yeah, but also let's not forget, and you're watching the Two Live Stews experience. Let's not forget, on national TV, you gave the suck it sign.
I did.
You gave the suck it sign on national TV. Yeah. I don't know what that was all about, but clearly they weren't happy with that. You telling Skip Bayless to, you did like this. Skip was talking, and I think Jay says, I got the video saved somewhere. Jay was saying something basically to the effect of me and you, what we were saying in the previous segment was right, and Skip was wrong. And Jay was saying it. What was Jay's last name? I don't even remember his last name.
Jay Crawford. Shouts out to
Jay Crawford. Shouts out to Jay Crawford. Good dude. And Jay was basically confirming what me and you were saying was right, and Skip was wrong as hell again. And you were like, yeah. You just said, suck it. Why did you do that? Why did you think you could do that?
Hey, man, if I could do it all over again. And you
didn't have, like, your expression in your face didn't change at all. Like, you thought that was cool.
No, I did. I did it on purpose. It was intentional. If I could do it all over again, man, there's a lot of things I wouldn't do, man. If I could do it all over again.
But guess what, though? God got a plan for us. Right. That's what I'm betting on.
Right.
That's what I'm betting on. We started this shit. Why would we not? Why would we not think that God got a plan for us?
What you looking for? Send a couple boats this way, man. Him send a couple boats. He send a couple boats, player.
All right, so let's wrap up today's show. And you're watching the Two Live Stews experience, Doug Stewart.
I know where this is going. You want to talk about the poll now, don't you?
I mean, that's customary. That's customary. We talk about the last poll. The last poll that we had, okay, was we named our top 5 rappers that probably aren't on your top 5 list. And the results, can we get the results, Mr. Naughty Dread? There we go. You can do the math. I got 72% of the vote with my list. My list was Lil Boosie, number 5, Beanie Siegel, number 4, number 3, Mos Def, number 2, Cool G Rap, and number 1, The Great Black Thought.
That was a really good list, man. That was a really good list. Congratulations. That was a great list. It really was.
Do we have Ryan still, Naughty?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Big Pun, Big Marky, Cool G Rap.
I just want to tell you where I think you messed up. I think you messed up with your number 1 answer. Not that the great Gucci Mane is slept on, but I just think that you can't put Gucci Mane. He has such a not good reputation by hip hop enthusiasts. I don't think you lost it when you put him at number 1.
I don't know.
And then this bullshiggity right here, to quote the great Deion Sanders, you tried to slip one in on us and get some extra favor with honorable mentions. The people saw right through that. They saw right through that.
Part of the deep love and affection that I have for Gucci Mane comes from the fact that he's killed like 3 or 4 people, but he's still on these streets. Okay. How many black people have killed several people and they're still in these streets, man? I got a deep love and respect for the Gucci Mane.
So these people that the great Gucci Mane killed, they were
allegedly.
He was defending himself. He was
defending himself. That's right.
But I mean, clearly because he's not in jail. He never went to jail for anything.
He's done time a couple times, but he's back on these streets. Every time you see him, he's walking around with a couple $1 million worth of diamonds on his body. Yeah, he's living the life, man. I got a lot of respect for Gucci Mane. No security. He's always by himself. No muscle. He handles his own business. I really respect the great Gucci Mane. I really do. And you're right. He probably did cost me with that last top 5. Yeah, it's okay.
If you would have had him at 5, maybe, but you had him at 1, that was just too much for the people.
All right, what's the nice top 5, sir?
So let's recap. We've done 9 polls. I'm up 7-2 in these polls.
We've done 9 polls. I'm up 7-2 in these polls. We've done 9 polls. I'm up 7-2 in this poll. What's the next poll, man?
I love when you do your little midget voice, whatever the hell that is. I love when you do that. That's great.
Don't say midget. That's
not... little people. I'm sorry. I love when you do your little people voice.
Right.
So today's poll, we came on the show, a lot of admiration for the great O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson is my favorite football player of all time. 40 years after the fact, before I even knew what football was or started understanding what football is. So today we're doing our top 5 or our top person in 5 different categories. This is a little bit different than we normally have been doing it. We simply said just name 5 people in 5 different categories, whatever, sport, movies, entertainment, whatever the case may be. Give us the top 5 in 5 different categories. Okay. Because I won, I want you to go first.
Okay, man. All right. My favorite president is the great Barack Hussein Obama.
Oh,
yep.
Oh, shit.
Yep. My favorite rapper is the great Rakim from Eric B. and Rakim. My favorite NBA player, of course, is Michael Jordan. He's a fan favorite. My favorite singer, and he's
got Obama. I forgot all about Obama, my favorite president. I forgot all about my favorite
singer, and he's one of my favorites in the world of people, not just as a singer, is the great Prince. And last but not least, man, because we're not putting them in an order, my favorite athlete is none other than the great Barry Sanders.
Oh, I see. Some more influence.
Yep.
You post a picture with you and Barry Sanders on the bench. I see.
And listen,
trying to persuade the audience. I see.
I'm going to tell a story about this Barry Sanders picture. Okay, we were sitting there. We were in Detroit.
This is cheating.
And he just broke off like a 125-yard run, right? And he gets to the bench and he sits down.
And I'm like, off with how long of a run?
It was 125 yards, right? And he gets to the bench and I go, hey, cause we used to call him number 20. Call him 20. Hey, 2-0. That's a great run, man. He said, I appreciate it, Stu. I said, 2-0, we're going to win this game because of you, man. He said, man, we're going to win this game because of you, Stu. You're great, man. And I said, thank you, Barry. So that's my story.
That cat is a mastermind influencer. I see what you're doing.
Yep, that's my top 5.
This is going to come down to the bottom because
the great Barack Obama is on my list, sir.
I don't know why I didn't think of my favorite president.
Mm-hmm.
That's powerful. But go ahead with my list, Nadia. I feel confident. Go ahead with my list. Top 5 in the top 5 categories. I went the sports theme.
I like
my
that.
favorite baseball player of all time, the great Reggie Jackson. The man had his own candy bar, hit 3 home runs in a World Series. That's my guy. And our Caucasian brothers hate his black ass. My favorite NBA player, Magic. No, let me back up. Irvin Magic Johnson, the most beautiful basketball player in the history of basketball players.
That's
Coming in for my favorite NFL football player,
the reason why you're going to lose.
Orenthal James Simpson. This is the reason we're having this poll today. Look at him.
Yeah,
so sweet with his big ass head. O.J. Simpson's my favorite NFL player of all time. My favorite rapper is Rakim, so we agree on that. And my favorite actor, Denzel Washington, shawty.
That's a good list.
Denzel Washington, shawty. This is going to be a tough one.
We're going to come
down to the very end on this one. All right.
Yeah. All I got to say is one thing. All I got to say is one thing before you put up the voting rules. All I got to say is one thing. We've only been blessed with one black president. All right, go ahead, man. Go ahead. God damn, you really this ninja really won an election.
You really put a lot of pressure on the voters, huh?
Barack Hussein Obama won an election, sir, to be the leader of the free world 2 times. Yeah, man, I got this one. Y'all vote for your boy. Shout out to your boy.
All right, the poll's gonna be up in about 15 minutes, and the voting will continue until tomorrow at 6 p.m. That's what I always do. I always do the next day. 6 p.m. is when the voting goes down.
I didn't know that.
How long do you thought the voting went to? We can't have the voting go forever.
I thought it stayed up. I thought you put it up there and it stayed up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I actually did let this one stay up. I didn't pull this one down, but that's what I've been doing typically on the other 8.
Okay.
I'm gonna admit that's pretty good. I didn't.
You got nobody else in the list bigger than Barack, sir. I mean, Barack and Michelle Obama. Oh man, please, man.
Barack is
still our favorites, man.
But hey, listen. I think I got a chance with Reggie Jackson, man. I mean, Reggie and Magic, that's pretty powerful. You got to admit,
Magic is good.
Reggie and Magic pretty good.
Magic is good, man. Magic is real good. Reggie's good too, man.
All right, go wrap this show up, man. Let's get it. I gotta go make
real quick, man. Shouts out to Jinx the Jester, Joey. Shouts out to Dub Slim, Willie. We appreciate you, man.
What up?
BMX.
What up?
We appreciate you, man. I'm gonna give you a grade, man. Doug, I'm gonna give you a grade. Let me give Nadia a grade first. James, man, you've done an outstanding job this week while Tree's been out, man. I really appreciate your efforts, man.
Hadn't skipped a beat.
He has not skipped a beat, man. Things have been smooth. You've been working. It's outstanding job, man. He gets an A++. Great job for James Harmon, man.
Great job.
The great Arlie Michelle. You can follow her at Arleywood. Welcome to Arleywood. Great job, Arlie. I'm giving you an A++ also. I mean, just an outstanding job. And she brings so much character to the show. She brings so much candy to the show. She's eye candy. Everybody loves her. She's in the chat having a good time with folks. So great job, Arlie.
Oh, thank you, Arlie.
I'm disappointed, Doug. I'm disappointed in your performance today. I don't know if you did any preparation. I thought
I had some great takes tonight.
The top 5 was hey, man.
OJ thing?
Yeah. Anyway, man, I'm giving you an A+, man. Outstanding job today.
Oh man, thank you. You're the grooviest. You're the grooviest.
Outstanding job, man.
And you try to slip the listeners a Mickey with that Barack Hussein Obama. Top 5 right there. I see what you did right there.
That's a good call.
And then you posted a picture of you and Barry trying to persuade them even a little bit more.
That's my teammate. What you doing? Hey, do you have a picture with any of those guys you had on your top 5? You got a picture of any of those guys? No, man. Nope. Go ahead. I'm sorry. That's a low blow.
Having said all of that, I'm still giving you an A+, sir.
What?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Thank you,
great job tonight.
Thank you, man.
Great job tonight. Yeah.
And last but not least, man, A+++ to the great folks from Southern Edge.
Yes.
Southern Edge Beverage Company, man. Check them out on the web at southernedgebeverageco.com. And make sure you're following Southern Edge on all social media platforms, man.
I just thought of something, man, before we get out of here.
Okay, go ahead.
Aren't we playing golf Monday?
We are playing golf Monday.
Are we going to be back in time to do the show Monday night?
We're going to have to do it on Tuesday, sir. Unless we're going to stay where we're playing golf.
Did you know that, or did you think about that after I just said it?
Man, we talked about that in the post-show meeting the last time we had the show. It's okay. Okay. It's either CTE that you're dealing with, man, like me, or it's drugs. One or the other, man.
It's definitely not drugs.
Okay.
So the show next week, the first show is going to be Tuesday. Let's just go ahead and say it now because we're going to play some golf and we probably going to have some cocktails on the course and, Southern Edge flowing. So, I'm not going to even put myself in that position. And we got to drive back.
Okay.
So
I'm going to put this out there. I'm going to put this out there real quick.
Okay.
I may spend the night Monday because of the drinking on the course.
Yeah.
But the Stews are planning a NFL draft get-together on the first Thursday of the draft. That's the 25th. More news to come. It's going to be a really live spot. We're going to have some entertainment. We're going to have beverages. We're going to do a tasting of Southern Edge. I believe if she's in town, the great Arlie Michelle will be there. Again, you can find her at Welcome to Arleywood. James is probably going to pull up on us and be there. So to be a part of that shindig, man, make sure you are following Southern Edge on all social media platforms to make sure you get your invite or you know what's going on for the first live podcast of the Two Lives Tues experience going down on April 25th, the first night of the NFL draft. I'm done, sir. I'm done, sir. And before we get out of here, man, all I'm going to say is Barack Obama. That's it, man. Barack Obama.
Happy birthday to Terradome 32. 34 years in the frat, the day after tomorrow. We're going to kick it this weekend.
God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. If you don't know him, you need to find him and show him love, because that's all he is trying to show you. Nothing but love.
Where your heart's at, man?
They coming, man. Give me a second.
Oh, your heart's on protest, man. They boycott. Hearts on protest.
That captain turned my hearts off. Wow. Man, you a dirty son of a...
Whatever.
Peace and blessings, y'all. We see y'all next week on Tuesday.
Peace.